Hey guys, the School Brothers Sports Podcast. Today we're going to be doing the way too early schedule predictions featuring the one, the only, Mr. BK himself, Andy Chang. Welcome to...
What's going on, guys? Pleasure to be here.
Yeah, so before we start the way too early schedule predictions, how has your BK content been going for you? I see that you had like a ton of views on that one video.
Yeah, thank you, brother. I appreciate you asking because I've been talking with Logan a little bit, and of course, with you in the Discord and everybody else, that for the longest time I just had like this long plateau because like just people weren't as excited about the videos and things weren't clicking. And I just kept the faith, knowing that YouTube is a long game, and there's going to be ups and there's going to be downs, and there's going to be it's like a sine curve, and sometimes you're going to be really up high, and sometimes you're going to be really down low. It just matters that you just keep putting in the effort. So I've just been putting in the effort, and now that I have this passion to help Burger King, in any way that I can with their marketing, so they don't have to close those restaurants. This could be a huge opportunity for me to work together with Burger King formally instead of informally, and create a beautiful partnership. So I'm just really excited to see where things go from here.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way you gotta go. I know my channel seems like I've given up. It's not just me giving up. It's just I don't really have time. Summer's in about 2 weeks for me fully, so we'll get back to the content, and the NFL will be going, so it's perfect. I actually got my Josh Allen jersey behind me. You can't see it, but you'll see it on the video. I got the Josh Allen next to Jefferson jersey. So
nice. How'd you get the Josh Allen jersey? You just ordered it yourself?
Yep, just ordered it. I like the Bills a little bit. That won't really show in this video, but I do like the Bills.
Exactly. Nobody else helped to know that except for me.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so you did start off as an NFL content channel, so we're gonna get into the NFL now with this way too early schedule predictions. Week 1 we'll start off with the Vikings. Week 1, we are at home, U.S. Bank Stadium, opening the year. U.S. Bank Stadium. Who do you got in that one?
Yeah, so easily I got you guys. It's pretty clear that since Brady left, the Bucks are just. I mean, there's a reason they call them the Succaneers, and the Bucks are not going to be in a position. Baker Mayfield at quarterback maybe, and then with their falling apart, just team in general. Essentially Brady carried that team, and now he's no longer there, and the Vikings are just coming off of a fresh playoff loss, and I feel like the Vikings were finally starting to click, and then the season just ended. So I definitely have the Vikings just. I don't even think it's just not even going to be a close game. They're just going to blow out the Bucks first game for sure.
I agree. I also have the Vikings winning that one. It's just the Buccaneers just aren't that good. That's more of where I'm from.
That's a nice way of saying it.
Yeah, the Vikings have lost a few players, but they've lost all their players. Like, they got Baker Mayfield. If we lose to Baker Mayfield, it's not going to be a fun year.
Yeah, that was who did the Rams beat? Oh, that's right. I think they beat the Broncos, right? 51-3 with Baker Mayfield. That's just embarrassing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that should never happen. Never.
Yeah, no, none of that. No, you don't want to do that. So week 2, we go to Philly again for the second year, week 2. And then again for the second year, we play them on primetime, Thursday Night Football. Who you got in that one? I think I know.
Yeah, I think we know, right? I'm pretty sure you guys are going to get wrecked.
Yeah.
The Eagles are just going to wreck everybody because, their defense is just unstoppable, and it seems like Jalen Hurts is just getting better and better and better. And as good as the Vikings are, I mean, they might be able to make it close, but, it's going to be a rough game just because, the Eagles they just keep advancing, and they don't seem to have any real weaknesses, whereas, Kirk, if, he has an off game, that's going to throw the whole offense, whereas, if Hurts has a bad game, well, they still have a supreme run game and a supreme defense that can just get a ton of turnovers. Oh, sorry, I'm not sure if I can swear. So just a bunch of turnovers, and, the Vikings, I just don't see their defense having that ability, especially since, they had so much trouble against the Cowboys last season and the Packers and, other teams that didn't even have that great of offenses.
Yeah, I feel like all the Vikings fans are going to get their hopes up. Just to start the year, we'll get our hopes up. We just crushed Tampa. We're feeling good, and then we'll get humbled pretty fast in Philly.
But yeah, that's that's the name of the game, man. And like even when we get to the Bills, dude, like I mean, I got basically everybody losing to the Eagles. You know, it's like they're just that good. But you know, hopefully, you know, we figure out some cracks in their games, and you know, somehow, you know, we can start other teams, like especially the Bills, can start getting some wins. You know, and maybe you guys can get some wins against them too.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, because I forgot to screen record, I got the camera going, your camera going halfway through that, but it's all good. We still got 90% of the video to go. So,
You know what would be really funny is like you should totally just do what they do in like those like poorly dubbed like Jackie Chan films where like the mouth isn't moving and the words with the words. So they're like, oh, is he speaking Korean or is he actually speaking English? So like, I don't want you to like get messed up with that too much because sometimes that annoys people. But for me, that's my sense of humor. So
Yeah.
maybe
yeah.
it's just an option you got there.
Yeah, now we're good to go. So it's all right. So after in week 3, Vikings go back to the U.S. Bank Stadium to take on the Los Angeles Chargers. Who you got?
Yeah, man, I easily got the Vikings. You know what I mean? Chargers gonna Charger, man. Like, essentially after that, like, horrendous collapse against the Jags in the playoffs last season, like, I have literally, like, I probably have even less faith than, like, the fans do. Or maybe not as bad as faith, but, like, I have literally zero faith in the Chargers to be able to turn things around.
Yeah. My man clearly is going to agree with that. He is not a big Chargers fan. Did you see in the Discord channel? Everyone go join Andy Chang's Discord. I'll put it in the description. But he has an entire channel for Chargers hate. So,
I love it, dude. I think that's a great idea. It's hilarious because I don't know anybody that actually likes the Chargers.
yeah, exactly. I don't know a single person. My uncle, shout out to you. You live in LA and you're a Rams fan, so not even the LA people like the Chargers. So.
Yeah, exactly. There's only one LA football team, and that's the Rams. The Chargers don't even like register in people's minds.
Exactly. So yeah, hopefully all 3 Chargers fans disagree with that take. Everyone else will agree.
All 3 Chargers fans, zing, got them again.
Yep. So week 4, the Vikings will be going to Carolina to take on the Carolina Panthers, and I'll start off this time. I think the Vikings will win this game. Just Bryce Young, I have a feeling he won't have clicked yet. Like, not with that terrible receiving core. We still love you, Thielen, but you got some wear and tear there. So, yeah, I'm not too worried.
Absolutely, brother. Yeah, you know, I can agree with that. You know that, you know, again, Bryce Young. I mean, just look at like Trevor Lawrence, right? Like he was like hailed in college as being like the best quarterback, and look at his first season with the Jags. I mean, granted, he had like a horrendous like head coach, so that kind of plays a factor in it. But still, you know, like you have these amazing quarterbacks in the college, but how do they play in the NFL? See, that's what I really want to know. You know, so it's gonna be interesting to see, you know, how he does in the first game. But yeah, against like a more well-seasoned, you know, Kirk Cousins and Vikings team, you know, I see the same thing happening for the Panthers as was happening last season. You know, just the same old sad story of them just getting owned.
Yeah, I don't disagree. But this is where it really starts getting rough for the Vikings. We'll have one little break in between, but we have the Kansas City Chiefs at U.S. Bank. We are not winning this game, so I'll just put an L. Now you can give our reason why we're not winning it.
That's a nice way of saying it. Yeah, I mean, basically, like, the Chiefs' offense is just going to roll through your guys' defense, you know. Unless, like, your defense just magically, like, comes together, like, you know, Mahomes is just going to have a field day. It's going to be, like, 44-20 or something like that.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong, and that's the sad part. There's a reason that we brought in Brian Flores, but maybe he's good. We don't know. So,
you know, I keep forgetting about that, you know, your guys' defense could very well just be a whole different game this season because you actually have a defensive coordinator who knows what he's actually doing instead of, like, some dude that just doesn't, I don't even know how to say it politely. Like, he just didn't, it's like he almost didn't even care. Like, he didn't even prepare for the game. He just showed up and said, oh, well, let's keep doing the same thing that's not working and see what happens. And it's just, you know, it just doesn't even make any sense.
Exactly.
Kind of like how the Bills were doing things, you know? No adjustments whatsoever against the Bengals, and then we just got owned. So it was just very sad.
Yeah.
So I feel like pain.
Yeah. The Vikings and Bills are 2 very similar franchises where both of us struggled with coaching, and we traded the our star receivers for each other pretty much because you guys actually would have had JJ with that pick, but you traded it to us. Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys got Jefferson. That was you definitely got the great end of that stick. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, and then the infamous 0-4 in the Super Bowl, the only other ones to do it.
At least you guys didn't have to. Wait, you guys didn't do it 4 years in a row like we did, though.
No,
Right?
yeah,
It's just
correct.
overtime. Yeah. See, that's just. I don't even know how that happens. I think that's just straight up inexcusable. You know what I mean? Like it's like you make it 4 years in a row, you couldn't win at least once. It's like I don't even know. I feel like that's just like ill fate, but like there's more to it than that. You know, there's something else going on.
Exactly. So back to the schedule, we go on to face the Bears in Chicago, Windy City. We should win this, but we're the Vikings, so you never know. But I'll put a win.
Because you guys beat them twice last season, right?
Yeah.
You guys swept the Bears, I'm pretty sure, right? And then
Yeah.
you guys went 1-1 with the Packers, and you went
1-1. Yeah. 1-1 both the Packers and Lions.
Yep. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I'm excited for when we talk about the Lions and stuff like that. But for now, yeah, for the Bears, yeah. I mean, like, it's so crazy because like the Bears, like they got so much more help this offseason. But I mean, I don't know what people see in Fields. Like, if he was really that good, I don't know. I feel like they wouldn't have gone like with like such a horrendous record last season. I don't know. That's just me. You know, if he was really like that good of a quarterback, I mean, I feel like the record would indicate something better. You know.
Exactly.
It just doesn't add up to me. So I just don't see the merit in him. So I'm just happy that he's their quarterback and not ours. So I'm happy. I'm happy with the situation.
So you got the Vikings in that one?
Oh yeah, Vikings easily on that one. So right now we got what have we got? Vikings so far. So we got
The Vikings are 4-2 for both of us as of right now.
okay, nice. Oh, that's right. It'll be interesting that when we have some like Discord, I'll just like randomly just like throw the Vikings under the bus.
Yeah, I think the thing is like we're in the middle of the season, so we already know who would have beaten what team last year. So that's why these predictions are probably going to be pretty similar. But
Yes.
yeah, like,
Yes.
exactly. For this next game, we're both going to have the Vikings losing because we play San Francisco Monday Night Football at home. The Niners we're not winning that game in my opinion, but they're just like too good. Like their defense is too good. It's gonna be interesting. It should be a fun game. Our offense versus their defense, but honestly, their offense is just too good. Our defense is just too not good. So that's pretty much my analysis there.
Yeah, because I was wondering, like, do you think Brock Purdy would be back in action by then, and do you think he would have had a couple games under his belt by that point?
That's very true, but he should be back by then. And honestly, I could go in to play quarterback for the Niners, and they'd still be good. So
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, they're dominant on the run, and like you said, their defense is just. I mean, their defense is basically like the Eagles' defense. You know what I mean? With maybe like a few more holes, but like it's pretty unstoppable for the most part.
Exactly. So we'll both take the L on this one.
We'll both take the L.
For-
I'm not taking an L. The Vikings are taking an L.
Yeah, I worded that wrong. We're both
I
having
love
the
when people
Vikings.
are like, why do you hate the Vikings so much? I'm like, I don't hate the Vikings. I think the Vikings are great. I just think that the fans are hilarious when I troll them.
Yeah, exactly. So next game we go to play at Green Bay. This is probably a 3:25 game, but I don't know for sure. Don't quote that. But
A 3:25 game? Oh, I love it. Yeah. Nice. Or 3:28 just because.
yeah, exactly. So who do you got winning this one? I'll see who you say on this one first.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I like make fun of the Vikings and stuff, and as much as I wanted the Packers to win against the Vikings because I had that vendetta last season, I mean, I don't see Jordan Love being that good. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like after like the Packers, even if they still had Rodgers, like he just is just their team is just. I mean, their defense is great, but their offense is just kind of whatever. So I mean, I feel like the Vikings could just roll over. Like if they had Rodgers, maybe it'd be slow, like slightly competitive and close. But with Love, it's hard because like I haven't really seen Love play, and like even Packers fans haven't really seen Love play. So who knows? But let's just assume that he's as good as he was last time we saw him, which means he doesn't play at all. So yeah, I don't see him being able to do enough for the Packers.
Yeah, exactly. Love just doesn't seem that good. Their receivers just aren't that good. They're just not that good of a team in general. But they have Jair.
Austin Parker, it just.
Yeah, exactly. They're just not that good of a team.
Or was it Adams?
Which one?
I can't remember.
Wait.
Did I get the name? I got the name wrong. Wait, was it Adams or was it Parker?
Adams, Devontae Adams.
Yeah, it was Adams. Yeah. That's right. Man, so many names. It's so hard to get them all right. But yeah, as soon as they lost like their star receiver, I mean, it just went all downhill for them. And then Rodgers basically just gave up because he was finished.
Yeah, exactly. So with all that being said, I have the Vikings losing this game just because that seems like something we'll do. So the ultimate curveball. Just.
You guys think that the Vikings will just? So you think they'll go in overconfident and like just be like, okay, we're just gonna knock out the Packers, and then the Packers will have a supreme game plan somehow and just pull off the dub?
Exactly. The Packers. My prediction: the Packers will have been struggling this far in the season, and then the Vikings are just like, all right, this should be an easy game. Prepare for the road trip, the slight road trip we have. Oh, not really. Kinda. No, we don't have that many road games, so never mind that. But just we have an easy schedule going forward. Just get ready for the playoffs. We're doing decently so far, and then we just go in and lose. So
yeah, interesting. Wow, so you guys are taking 2 L's in a row then. Interesting.
Yeah. And then we travel to Atlanta, Georgia, where we will take on the Falcons with their new prize possession, Bijan Robinson.
Oh my gosh, what a horrendous use of draft capital. Draft pick. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Falcon's gonna Falcon, man. I would love it to see like the Vikings turn into like trolls. So like they let the Falcons like get the lead at like the half. So like they let the Falcons go up like, 14 to 10 at the half, and then the Vikings just turn on the heat and then just like don't let the Falcons score at all the rest of the game, and then you guys just keep laying on touchdown after touchdown after touchdown and just finish off going like 41-14 against the Falcons. I'd love to see that. That'd actually be really amusing because the Falcons just suck. Let's be real now. They just haven't looked right since they lost Super Bowl 51. They just couldn't get it together.
Yep, exactly. The Vikings will win this game. Not gonna think twice about it. And yeah, that's just my take. Then we go to play New Orleans at US Bank Stadium. I always love playing New Orleans because they're just funny to troll. So, who do you think's winning that?
This is interesting. This is like one of those I guess you could call it a toss-up game because I mean I don't know how well Derek Carr is going to adjust to the Saints. So if he has a stellar season, I mean the Saints could actually be a really good team. But if he can't adjust and he's just kind of struggling, then of course the Vikings are just going to pull out on top. So it's interesting. Who would actually do it? But if you look at how the Saints played last season and assume that they wouldn't get much better even with Carr because of how poorly Carr played last season with the Raiders, and he threw a crap ton of picks last season.
Yeah,
I mean, not as much as Dak, but still a ton. I just see the Vikings not having an issue with the Saints, so see the Vikings pulling out that win.
Yep, I think we're gonna. Yeah, I'll put down a win. I think we'll beat the New Orleans right here. I just feel like we're a better team, and they always struggle playing us, other than the NFC Championship game in 2009. But that doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's right because you guys that was the Minneapolis Miracle, right?
No, that was in 2017, and we won that game. Yeah, and that was your man Diggs actually who got that, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Of course, I'll never forget. Yeah, that's amazing, man.
So 2009, Brett Favre actually threw a game-losing interception for us, and we would have won that Super Bowl. So that's basically what happened.
Favre played for the Vikings?
He did.
Wow, I did not know that. So he played for the Packers, the Jets, and the Vikings?
Yes, yep, and the Falcons.
Wow, man, he was all over the place.
I know. Yeah, you're mainly known for the Packers, though.
For the Packers.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. That's why they're saying Rodgers is following in his footsteps, going from the Packers to the Jets and who knows where.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why a lot of people are joking, who's excited for Rodgers and the Vikings 2025.
Oh, watch Rodgers just retire after the season. He's like, you know what? This didn't work out the way I thought it would. I'm done.
But that's the thing. That's what Brett Favre did, and then he unretired and joined the Vikings.
Oh, interesting. See,
yeah.
I'm learning how it all works. So interesting. Okay.
Yeah. learning. This went from a scheduled prediction to an informational. Teach Andy all about the
Yeah.
NFL.
About the NFL, exactly, because I only know so much, so it's so
Exactly.
funny. Yeah, I know, right? Teaching the troll how information works.
Yeah, but don't let this get on your YouTube, otherwise they'll realize, maybe he actually
Fraud.
this is a fraud.
Nice.
So
Your next game.
next game we will be taking on Denver at Mile High Stadium. I don't know what they actually call it now. Sunday Night Football, and for that reason, I have the Vikings losing, just because I feel like Russell Wilson, like he might be better with Sean Payton as a coach. I hate Sean Payton, but I mean it's Kirk primetime with a combination of maybe Russell Wilson becoming better and a good coach. I think we lose this game.
Wow, you know what's funny is I was actually going to troll you before you made your prediction because it should have been an easy win, and I was just going to say, oh, Russell Wilson and the Broncos are going to like trample the Vikings. But you know, it's funny that you're actually predicting that the Vikings will go soft that game and then like just somehow just like lose the game. But you know, oh my god, man, the Broncos like there's certain teams right now that I put all in the same category. You know, the Broncos, the Saints, the Bears, the Panthers, who else? It sucks. Cardinals. Like I put all these teams as like the crappy teams because like I just don't see them like getting better anytime soon. Unless we have a major overhaul.
I'd add Tampa to that list probably.
Tampa, yeah, because now they lost Brady. Yeah, I'd say the whole NFC South. They just suck. Every single one of them.
Exactly. The Falcons maybe could become good, but I don't think so.
I don't see it. I think the Panthers would become good before the Falcons would, for sure.
Just anybody but Tampa, pretty much. Tampa.
Oh, yeah, but yeah, they thought like they could get into the playoffs with a losing record. Well, they're not definitely not going to get into the playoffs next season. They're going to be having a really sad, long off season, and the off season will begin during the regular season.
Yeah. So are you going to take Denver on that trampoline?
No, actually, I'm just going to take the Vikings because I think even if it is a trap game, I just don't see them losing to the Broncos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'll take the Vikings.
So you have the Vikings on a 4-game winning streak. So do the Vikings get soft before the bye week in Week 12 against the Chicago Bears on Monday Night Football? What do you think about that?
Interesting. Well, let's see here. They have 8 days in between the game. Yeah. Man, it's a tough one. You guys swept the Bears last season, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that is interesting that I did pick them 4 in a row. So Packers, Falcons, Saints, Broncos. Hey, let's keep the streak going before you guys go against the Bengals. So go ahead, I'll give you guys another win. Why not? Just to keep that hope up really, really high. So
exactly.
It's like, hey, we just won 5 games in a row. We are on top of the world.
Feeling great going into the bye week. Exactly.
So feeling great after beating the Packers, Falcons, Saints, Broncos, and Bears.
Exactly. Yeah. So I have the Vikings also winning that. I mean, I would say it's a trap game, but I just don't see the Bears doing anything this year. Like, I feel like they could be good the next year, but I don't think next year like they're gonna do good.
Yeah, I don't see them pulling off a season like the Jags did, where like the Jags were horrendous and then end up making the playoffs and actually winning a playoff game. Like, I mean, maybe they'll prove me wrong in the first game, right? Maybe Fields will come out there and just ball out and stuff. But then, you know, also maybe he'll just like start off really well and just like, you know, have a horrendous stream of games. You just never know what's going to happen. So, but yeah, that's what I do, man. That's why I'm glad we're doing this, because we go off of past performance because that's the best indicator of future performance. So you look at what happened last season, and I mean, just the Bears got ragdolled like basically every game. And any game they won, it was like they barely won. So it's like I just don't see it.
Yeah. So that brings us into the bye week. And then the week after, we'll be at Las Vegas, taking on the Raiders. I think that we win this game recharged after having an 8-day break between games in Denver, Chicago, then the bye week. I think we beat Las Vegas. Some may say it's a trap game, but I think we win this game.
Who's the quarterback for the Raiders again?
Jimmy G.
Oh, interesting, interesting. Yeah. See, it's interesting because like I don't look at Jimmy G as like a crappy quarterback. I feel like he's actually pretty good. Um, so I think the Raiders could actually like keep it close. But I really want like the Vikings to get this like super duper high. So like right when they face the Bengals and all these other teams, it just kind of come back down to reality. So let's go ahead and give the Vikings the win against the Raiders just because.
Yeah, so 6-game winning streak you have. Wow.
Yeah.
Going,
That's
going.
impressive because plenty of teams had done that. Like, did the Dolphins have like a huge winning streak before they went under, and then like a bunch of other teams had some pretty. And the Lions started off horrendous, right?
Yeah, the Lions are 1-6.
Yeah. So yeah. So when you guys will do the opposite, you'll start off really really well, and then just collapse at the end of the season, just like we always do.
Yeah. So I'll look here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you have the Vikings 10-3 right now. So they're pretty much locked into the playoffs also. They just got to win one more of these games maybe. So at Cincinnati, we're not winning this game.
Yeah, Joe Burrow's gonna have a fun day against the Vikings. That's gonna be a bye week for Joe Burrow.
Yeah. All right. Calm down a little bit.
I like how you're like, oh man. Just took a big dump all over the Vikings.
Yep. So, yeah, we'll just move past that game. We're not winning it. We go to.
Like how you don't even elaborate like why you're gonna lose. You just say, "Yeah, we already lost." Like it's like going into the game, your mindset's already, we're not gonna win against the Bengals.
Yep, exactly. So
And
then.
they're hot. Bengals are always hot at the end of the season. They start off really bad and then they just like heat it up throughout the season. Whereas the Vikings may start off really well at the beginning of the season, just like the Bills, and then they end up falling off a cliff.
Yeah, exactly. The Vikings-Bills game was like supposed to be the battle of a potential Super Bowl matchup last year, and it lived up to its standards. But then we both basically lost in the first round, beating Skylar, whatever his name, Skylar Thompson, and barely beating them. That doesn't count.
Barely, yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, so yeah, I agree with that take. So we go on to play Detroit at home. I think we'll split the season series on Detroit. We actually have 2 more games with Detroit within the last 3 weeks. So I think we'll go 1-1. So it's basically just a toss-up which one we win. I'll say we win the home game.
Yeah. So that one's going to be home for you guys then?
Yep. So I think we'll win that, and then I'll already put the L down for the next game.
I already put the L down. That's so funny. You're like, yeah, somehow like the Lions will come out on top, and yeah, I mean, again, I look at how the Lions ended the season last year, and it's just I got nothing but praise for them, and I just honestly like I see like as good as like I have the Vikings doing and stuff. I feel like the Lions are just going to be one step above. So I actually have the Lions winning your guys' division, the NFC North, this upcoming season, just because like. They're just, I don't know, I just feel like they're on fire. And, like, even with Goff, like, he's turned over a new leaf. He's not the same Goff he was with L.A., He's, like, actually a good quarterback. And, like, their defense is just, like, phenomenal. So I feel like the Lions are just going to pick up where they left off and then just keep running with it.
Exactly. So you'll think we'll lose this game then, right?
Honestly, brother, I think that the Vikings are going to have one of those late season collapses that's going to be very ugly, and you guys are going to lose to the Lions twice.
Ooh. All right.
Yes.
So the quick intermission against the Lions, we go to play the Packers at home, Sunday Night Football. I think you'll have us losing with that late season collapse. Is that correct?
Let's see here. I don't know. Maybe I'll throw you guys a bone just for the fun of it. Just be like, beat the Packers, get the morale up, because you guys lost to the Packers at the end of last season. I remember.
Yeah, badly.
And it was, right. And it was not pretty. So I feel like that's a revenge game for you guys. So something in the Vikings will be like, yep, we just got our butts kicked against the Bengals and the Lions. So now we desperately need this win. You guys get the dub that week.
Yep, I agree. I already had us losing to the Packers. I think the Packers will just be out of any contention at this point. They're just trying to get a lower draft pick. So
they're gonna be like, "Can you get us the number 2 pick, maybe?"
Yeah. So I think the Vikings will win this. So not much to be said on that game. And then that brings us to play at Detroit. We both already made our picks for this game. Vikings losing. So I'll start adding up the scores and you can talk about the game.
Nice. Oh wait, so what do you want me to talk about now?
Just like you already went over it actually. So I'll just add up the totals and you can get ready for the Bills season.
Also, what I was thinking is like just because of time, and again, and just to make it easier on you, let's actually schedule another talk. You know what I mean? For us to do
Alright.
the Bill. So this way you can just focus on the Vikings, get that all taken care of, and then this way you don't have to edit like a massive like 1
That's true.
hour plus thing. You know what I mean? So
It's true.
this will just make it a lot easier for you.
Okay, so we'll end the Vikings video right here then. We'll have the Bills video schedule prediction coming out sometime not too long after this one. Probably within a week. Probably somewhere around a week. So, yeah. Thanks for... I guess Andy he got kicked out of the call, but Andy's back.
Hey, did you like that? I wanted to see how you reacted. I was like, oh, this is going to be really mean, but I really wanted to see how you react. I was like, yeah, we're basically done, and then I just leave. I don't even say anything else. It's just like, bye. Just don't even say bye. Just hang up the phone and just leave. I was like, oh, God, this is going to be so funny.
Okay, I'll add up the score here. Thank you for joining, and right before we leave, I'll see how many. So you have Vikings going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 6, I believe. And I have the Vikings going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 7. So pretty similar.
Wow.
Yeah, so 10 and 7, 11 and 6. The Vikings hater has a better record prediction from the Vikings than the Vikings fan.
Isn't that ironic? And you know what's funny is before every single Vikings game, I'm still going to on their throats. I'm still going to say the Vikings are overrated and that the other team is going to dominate just because it's going to be really funny. I know it's going to get hundreds of thousands of views and I'm just going to have a great time. And I'm going to make up the dumbest excuses too. Like when you guys are about to like go against the Bucks, I'm just gonna make all these excuses like, oh, well, the Bucks have this amazing team, whatever. Like I'll be like, oh, their one receiver or their one corner is so good, he's gonna shut them down. Just like pick for things that just don't make any sense and just throw them in there anyways.
Exactly. So yeah, thank you for joining. Good luck on your BK. We'll see you here back shortly. And Skol Vikings.
Excellent, Skol.